breathe in the smell of rain, coming in from the sea again. The chimney tower's falling like a cut of pine tree. How can this mean anything? When the night...
I think I just always painted since I was a kid. My mum went to art school when she was young. She decided not to pursue art as a career, but she always had this really kind of creative kind of way of bringing us up as children. We were always drawing together and painting and crafting things. So I think it was just like a really, really natural part of growing up for me. It wasn't something that I had to seek out, it was just always there. I think when I was a bit older, maybe 5 or 6, I started just doing all these like drawings while I was listening to like story tapes. Like I had all these tapes with like Astrid Lindgren, you know, the Pippi Longstocking author, like all her different stories. And I used to kind of listen to them in the kitchen and draw them out myself and staple them together into little books. So I think I just always kind of did art as a kid, and it was so natural to me that I never really had to reflect over. It wasn't something I should take up, it was just always there in my life, I think. My art would have like many different layers. I suppose like myself, when I research things leading up to artworks, I suppose I look a lot at maybe some more kind of heavier kind of philosophical themes, and I look at a lot of like Jungian kind of analytical psychology, and the thing that would maybe lead up to certain works for me personally, but I don't feel that everyone looking at the work needs to know all that. I think there's so many layers to it. I always want my work to be kind of accessible to like people of all ages and like all kind of types of knowledge. You know, you don't have to like read a big philosophical text to get the work, but I think for me I take a lot of inspiration from kind of philosophy, and I read a lot, and a lot of films as well, I guess, would influence me, science fiction to like Tarkovsky and Ingmar Bergman. I think it's just really important to try and question the world you live in and the things that you're exposed to, and not take things for granted. So I think like it's, even if my art can somehow make people look at things more closely or like experience the world like in a different way, that's probably what I want to communicate. Previously, music has always been sort of a sideline pastime that I didn't really put that much thought into. It was just like me playing the guitar when I had a chance. It wasn't until maybe like a year and a half ago that I actually started thinking that I could do it a little bit more seriously. Like I was involved in music before that in a band called Cubs. But it was always just like a kind of fun little sideline thing. And then I think about a year ago I started thinking that I could probably put something together under my own name. So it became a Lilac Decline, which is like an anagram of my own name. I guess a lot of music I would have written in the past somehow kind of harks back to imagery of like landscape and place and that kind of thing. So that would be similar to what I deal with in my art. Especially when I was writing for Cubs previously, a lot of the imagery would have kind of like been inspired by me being out in nature, and that would kind of like translate into songs then lyrically. So I guess, yeah, without even thinking about it so much previously, actually they do quite feed into each other. I think art is incredibly important in society because it helps people to look at things in a different way. I mean, there's different types of art. There's like political art, there's people who just paint because they enjoy it for themselves. I don't think that you have to have an agenda as an artist in terms of like trying to change society. I know some people do. I think it's just important for artists to reach out to people and just let them know that there's something else out there in terms of like there's ways to question society, there's ways to look at things differently, like everyday mundane things can be turned around and can be turned into something. I think that's obviously something that artists work with a lot, and I think having audiences coming into art spaces or galleries and like seeing something that is maybe made quite obvious to them but is made strange and made different, something for them to discover, is just really important, I think, just for people to know that the world isn't just black and white and like a given, like there's so much else to discover. And I think that's important for art, to just like question society, question norms, question ways of looking, basically. I think that's the main role of the artist, I guess. Do, 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 do.